Mr. Gaskin. First off, thank you for meeting me. How old were you when you first started QC, and how old were you when the girls first got admitted?
I started in 1973. I was 10 years old when I entered QC. The girls came in 1975, so that would have made me 12 going into 13 at the time.
You said you started in 1973. Do you have any memorable experiences with the girls at QC?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't have the best of memories, but I remember leaving second form, we were all boys, and then when I got into third form, half the boys had left and gone over to Bishop's and were replaced by, I guess, half a class full of girls. So I guess for us it was exciting in one way, and we were curious also as to who these girls were, how they would fit in to our culture and our behavior. My impression was, I think individual girls made different impressions on us. You know, we had some bad girls, we had some good girls, we had some pretty girls, we had a good mix of girls. So,
what do you think girls added to the QC experience, having experienced it firsthand?
I think QC became I would say a softer school. And when I say softer, we were a boys' school. Most of our teachers were male. And with co-ed came a gradual transition. It didn't suddenly happen, but over time, and you can certainly witness it now, most of the teachers are female, and I think the girls are brighter than the boys. I would say it's a very maybe female-centered school. It's no longer bears any resemblance to a boys' school, whereas during the transition period, it was still a boys' school, but gradually you could see more female teachers and girls dominating in certain areas also, and boys maybe doing not as well as the girls with time.
Walking through the corridors of the school, what kind of changes are you seeing?
Well, walking down the corridors, remember, all of a sudden there were skirts. There were a lot of skirts, or the kimonos that they wore. So that was the first change. You had to get accustomed to that. I think, you also had to be mindful of trying to be not being as rough, with girls in the school, whereas your classmate, you could pass and tap him in the head, which was standard practice in those days. You didn't do that to the young ladies. So I think you had to exercise a little bit more restraint, and also maybe certain types of conversation you didn't necessarily want to have in front of the girls, and that sort of thing. So it affected the way we behaved, and we had to tone down certain aspects of our behavior.
And what does 50 years of Girls at QC really mean to you, having seen the transformation and the changes coming with it?
I think it's a great occasion to celebrate, and it's great also because a lot of the first batch of girls will be my age, and if we don't do 50, we're not going to be around to do the 100th. So it's nice to commemorate the 50th. It's a long enough distance. It's worth celebrating, and I'm sure there are a lot of changes that would have taken place. The whole culture of the school has changed. Whether for the better or for the worse, it's still worth celebrating because QC still excels. You can't just say the boys excel or the girls excel. QC excels. Women in QC have made a part of that, have contributed tremendously to the success of the school. So I think there's a lot to celebrate, and I'm glad it's being done.